Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're going to be talking about not going heavy. It's a little challenge for you to not go heavy every time you lift. And we're talking about anything with a barbell, deadlifts, bench press, strict press, push jerk, snatch, clean, all those different variations out there. And I'll kind of explain what I mean in different avenues for you. So number one, if you need a spotter every time you squat, every time you bench, every time you do like a weighted pull-up, we see all these people think they're doing really well, but they're really just getting assisted by a partner all the time. Or how about every time you deadlift, no matter what the weight is, you put a weight belt on? The truth is you're moving weight that your body really hasn't earned yet. Now, I get the idea of, hey, I'm gonna do 135 bench press, and when I hit burnout, my partner's gonna help me. I get that idea for bodybuilding, but we shouldn't be doing every set so heavy that we need that safety protocol in place of someone literally helping us lift that bar for us. It doesn't make sense from a longevity point of view, as well as the ability to earn that progress. So we see a lot of clients, or a lot of people in general, where it's like, yeah, I squatted 400 pounds, and then all of a sudden you watch the video, and they didn't really squat 400 pounds. They had someone spot them and lift them halfway up out of the lift, and most of the time they're not really squatting to the depth they can anyway. Now, I like to see people squat pain-free range of motion just because it's better for your joints overall. And I'm thinking about more long-term health. We want to make sure that we can move our joints to the biggest range of motion possible, pain-free. So as we get older, we don't get stuck, we don't need help, we don't need to depend on everyone around us. Now, when it comes to Olympic weightlifting, we see a lot of people do ugly cleans, ugly snatches, really ugly front squats, mashed potatoes, those elbows got to come up, right? I'd rather see people live between 65, 75% to work on technique, and possibly go up to 85% to work on strength and get some time under tension. I mean, you can literally not max out these lifts for a year and just live at 85% and add volume to that 80-85% number. So maybe, hey, today I did a total of 10 reps at it. Next week I'm doing a total of 12, 14, and gain volume that way, because there's a lot of technique involved in those lifts, and I want to see you gain capacity in those positions, and instead of doing ugly, squirrely, max effort attempts all the time and think you're getting better when the truth is you haven't really earned it yet. Or another way to look at this is, if every time I want to do front squats, whether it's 135 up to my max, I wear a belt every single time. There's some issue there, right? The belt allows you to lift weight that you haven't earned yet. So if you have to wear a belt to front squat 135, you have bigger issues than needing the belt to front squat 135, right? Maybe we have to stop, do some assessments, your core needs to get stronger. Let's find those little weakness areas to work on and attack. I mean, even Westside Barbell, the strongest gym in the world, they lift super heavy twice a week, one upper day, one lower day. And usually it's a variation of the lifts that they're going to compete in, not the actual lifts themselves. And then the rest of their training is designed to attack weakness, right? They have a max effort, dynamic effort, upper and lower. And then they attack weaknesses to help their main lifts, where those weaknesses have to be. So I'd love to see people, instead of thinking like, hey, I really want to squat more, so all I'm going to do is squat 90, 95, max out constantly. Let's work on your weak areas. Maybe just holding a bar in a front rack position at 100% of your 1 rep max to get stronger in your core is going to translate over to your front squat, which most likely it is. Because a lot of times the weak area isn't your legs, it's how much your core can handle. So again, even in WODs, we see people go super heavy. Have you ever tried Karen, 150 wall balls at 20 pounds? We see a lot of people now go up to 30 pounds with it. I dare you to try it at 14 pounds as a guy. Try and do 150 unbroken. You'll gain a lot of mental strength. You'll overcome a lot of barriers in your own mind, so you get to push through pain. Because the only reason you have to stop is because you choose to. You can always squat again with 14 pounds. So again, I challenge you not to lift heavy all the time. Let's work on those little things so we can have better long-term fitness and not lift weights we haven't earned yet. If you lift weights you haven't earned yet, eventually the body breaks down, something's gonna break, and there you have it. Now you're not training, and you're all training because you love it, right? You might be competing, you might be going to bodybuilding shows, but you spend way more time training than you actually do competing. So if you can't train, it doesn't go well. We usually beat ourselves up mentally. Some people get really depressed. So let's be a little bit smarter. Let's understand the long-term goal, and let's stop maxing out every time we get a chance to. All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you've cut down that volume of the heavy weights and you want to hear about your improvements. We see a lot of people, once they cut back, they actually get stronger. All right, hope that helps you. Any questions or comments, let us know.